So what I'm getting at in this production of justice, bringing justice to the world, where we evaluate things as good or bad, right or wrong, evildoer or righteous man kind of thing, we end up categorizing the world into this schematic that becomes a ledger world tally sheet mentality. And it becomes tedious, monotonous, and the mystery is drained out of life. Because when we come in contact or relationship with something, we categorize it and we place it into a, hierarchy of that is in accord with our values, that stem from the desire or the impulse to bring justice to the world, which is a metaphysical concept. So this justice is also similar to the reason, bringing reason or purpose to our life. Having a purpose-filled life is nothing more than a ledger world tally sheet mind. Well, what if something happens in the world that's purposeless, that doesn't seem to fit into our categories? Well, this is what I mean, is that I told them about the Shakti a few weeks ago, and then life itself presented an event, capital E, event, in time that supported what I had to say to them. And it was completely unrelated to me, in a completely spontaneous manner, that entered into this girl's life, and boom, it made contact with them as soon as I reminded them about the Shakti. Now, one of the person's responses was, "Oh yeah, that's how it is, and I know how to work it," kind of thing. And the other one was like, "Oh, you mean I have a choice in what I do with this?" And so, those are normal responses. I think we go through that all the time. What do I do with this? How much power do I have? What kind of power do I exert? What kind of control do I have? How will I influence the outcome of this? These are all a desire to bring justice, a desire to bring order to the chaos. But in my life, for me, this was the mystery that I bring into the world that brings the awe and wonder back. I can understand these concepts, I can see these concepts in time and in people's lives, and I can see how they ever repeat themselves, almost like a fatalistic determinism. But by letting life fill in the spaces, it brings back that magical awe and wonder, and leaves me thinking, what a mystery in how these things come about and why they come about. How is it that they actually came about to affirm what I had told these people? How is that? And it all was allowed to happen. I let the statements sit where they may, and boom, life presents something that either affirms or denies it, and I can throw it off and pick it up at will. I mean, I don't have a problem being wrong. I don't have a problem being incorrect. In fact, I'd like to tell people this is just a working hypothesis. Test the spirits. Test the hypothesis. See if it holds any water. But with the ledger world tally sheet mind mentality, this questioning, this mysteriousness, this magical quality is not often received well. The bank has so much of your money, and they're not going to give you any more, or you'll be overdrawn. And that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. However, on this level that I'm coming from, there seems to be a divinely superfluous abundance that is inexhaustible. And it goes through its high times and its low times. There's a point where there's a dried up wasteland and a point of fruitful abundance. Things change, but it's a pattern. But I can't second guess it. It just comes. And that affirms me.